What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. Give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what shorts are up to, and what's been coming out associated to the company itself. Before we get into any of that though, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is down slightly 0.48%, a lot of volatility as per normal. So 515 the low, 529 the high. Given the blood that's in the market, I'm actually surprised that NIO is holding up as well as it is. And I think that has to do with its technicals, but I'll go over that in a second. But 22.4 million for the volume, 81.5 is the average. So very, very low volume. And normally what does happen is with lower volume, increases the likelihood of manipulation, right? Because it's easier for shorts to kind of just do what they want. But algos seem to be really keeping NIO where it is. So algorithmic trading is kind of the saving grace. No actual news associated to NIO, no SEC filing, so no official stuff coming out. Unofficially though, this kind of popped up and was floating around on social media. So NIO did sign a deal to add another 100 swap stations. And so that's in central China. And I think that's good overall. This is kind of what they talked on 2 earnings ago, how they're going to be spending a lot of money on their infrastructure. And yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit more short-term pain as far as the monetary costs associated to this, but bigger picture is just going to really lay the foundation for NIO to really succeed. But then again, that's just my interpretation, of course. Broader market is pulling back though because of a lot of things, geopolitical issues starting to arise, a lot of companies unveiling their earnings, not necessarily going according to plan. Tesla is also unveiling their earnings after hours today. And whatever happens to Tesla, I'm sure you know already, good, bad, or the ugly, does trickle down to every EV. But today, there's so far 3 transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. 2 buys, both for $106,000. So it is fair to assume that is the same entity, but it was done pre-market, so at 439. The only one being done during the trading day was at 950, and that was 128,000. At the time of doing this video, shorts are increasing 555,000 shares. 13.07% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 174 million shares overall are being shorted. And then cost per hour average is 4.09. Shorts basically did this big jump first thing, and then they've been sitting. They haven't really done all that much. So like I said, just based on the lower volume, algos seem to be the only one really doing anything. Big money is not really doing much with NIO. Shorts aren't really doing all that much. So kind of a positive thing if that makes sense, because as you can kind of see right here, there's around 6.8 million shares available to be shorted. So if shorts really did feel today was kind of the death of NIO and it was going to go down a lot more than what it has, then they could easily double down, but they're not. So that's why I like to analyze this type of information. But aside from that, popping over to IBKR, I feel like the technicals are the only saving grace right now for NIO, because right below it, it does have that 50 and 200-day moving average, and right below that is also the 100. So even though it has pulled down quite a lot, and generally the technicals are somewhat bearish right now, it's still holding good support levels. So that's something to keep in mind, and most likely that is exactly why the algos are adding a lot of volume, but not really propelling it lower or doing all that much. So let me know your thoughts on that. No new analyst ratings on a side note, as you see. So the last one was done 5 days ago, $8 price target, DBS. As a consensus, $6.31 is that target of all the ratings. And that does represent a 21.23% upside. So let me know your thoughts on that. And while I'm actually on here, Elliott Wave Technicals, I know a lot of people do generally like that. This one is projecting for a little bit more of a further pullback to kind of the mid 3s, as long as it is below that 597 pivot point. So let me know your thoughts on that. On a side note, if you want all this information to be completely free, take a look at IBKR, link in the description below and also the comments. Very good information here as far as analysts and everything else, including right over here, how it kind of shows that 72.79 days is the average short position. So when shorts do get in, they kind of get in for the long haul, if that kind of makes sense. I don't know if that's a good thing, but this is why I bring up all this information. You all can analyze and take from what you will. But looking at options, 1.27 million in calls, 972,000 in puts. So similar to the common stock, very low options volume, but 55% of all the options being done so far today are bearish. Of the call options that are being purchased, it looks like the optimism kind of is capping out at $6, so very limited for that. And then looking at puts for this week, it is anticipated for it to be sub $5 and then 450 by, it looks like over here, November 15th, and then November 29th, a small amount at sub $4. So you've been having these random ones, so people behind the scenes are anticipating for NIO to continue to break down. I don't know if they're following the Elliott wave technicals, like I said, that's projecting for it to be around that $3 range, or if they are acting on other information, I'm not really sure. But as of right now, giving you a quick overview of this, with it right now at $5.21, or once it updates, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So 468 is going to be the strong support, and then $6.12 will be that next strong resistance slash target. I'm looking at the 1-day chart as well, so that's very strong support and resistance points. But if you're looking for more short-term ones, 505 and then 479 are going to be the support points in the short term, or I guess near term, and then 548 and then 592 are going to be the resistance levels. Like I said, just generally the technicals are rather bearish. Blood in the market essentially isn't helping either, but it is holding up rather well. So let me know your thoughts on NIO. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? Based on this right here, the momentum indicator shows that retail is buying today, but generally they have been selling out like crazy over the last little bit. So are you part of that group? Or are you buying? Are you guys doing options? What is your thoughts? And two things I just wanted to share with you. Take advantage of this promo because it gives you 8 free stocks. Free is amazing. Free is the best thing out there. And each stock is valued up to $2,000. Link to this is in the description below and also the comments, only up until November the 30th. And then aside from that though, I did launch memberships, so if you like the NIO content, want to support the channel, definitely consider joining as a member. A lot of different tiers for a lot of new investors or just supporters. So with all that though, appreciate all of you watching.